how you look, it's how you feel. From subtle, natural aesthetics to personalized wellness care, everything we do is intentional. This is beauty with purpose. At Vibe Men's Health, we take that same approach. We focus on what matters most: strength, energy, and performance. Built on real data, real medicine, and real results, we're here to help you look better, feel stronger, and live fully. Come vibe with us today.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 9.
Good evening and welcome to Mississippi Live Weather at 9. I'm meteorologist Caleb Edelblut, and it has been a fantastic weekend across North Mississippi. I hope all of y'all have enjoyed y'all Sunday. I know y'all definitely enjoyed y'all Saturday. Well, now it is Sunday night, and I got to get you ready for your Monday morning tomorrow. Let's get right on the broadcast because I know we're getting ready for bed, getting ready for the work week ahead. So starting off, we have a warm start to the work week, a little bit warmer as we go about our Monday tomorrow, even into our Tuesday. But the good news is that's about as warm as it'll get for the rest of the work week. We'll talk about cooler temperatures later on, especially pretty much Wednesday and on throughout the rest of the week. We'll talk about much noticeably cooler temperatures and a slow build back up, but low 80s, that's the forecast for tomorrow. That's as warm as it gets. But also with those cooler temperatures brings the opportunity for those storm chances. We're talking about that for your midweek time frame. Pretty much technically Tuesday night is where we could start to see some of that severe weather risk impact us here in North Mississippi, but Wednesday continues to be the bigger day or more impactful day across North Mississippi as we're tracking the chance for some showers and storms, a few of those being on the stronger side. So we'll make sure to give you the very latest. And of course, starting off with our Tuesday, a few of us here in North Mississippi are under a severe weather risk. We're thankfully only under level 1 out of 5 on the most northwestern portion of Mississippi. You can see that level 2 further out west across the Mississippi River out into Arkansas. And you're going to notice why that level 2 is further out west, not really impacting us. We don't really have enough going on down here in Mississippi. That is a good thing, not a slam dunk forecast, but definitely something that we want to continue to keep our eyes on. We're going to make sure to give you the very latest as we get closer and closer towards Tuesday, this upcoming work week. But something to give you a heads up on with the possibility of some storms for your Tuesday and into your Wednesday. But take a look at the first 12. Not having to worry about that at all as we wrap up our Sunday. We're starting off in the upper 50s by 10 o'clock. Clear skies still above. That's going to continue throughout the first part of the overnight period. Then we're talking about mostly clear skies. Low 50s by 4 o'clock. That's about as cool as we're getting tonight. So not going to be as chilly of a morning, or at least start to our morning as we experience today for your morning tomorrow. So 51 by 7 o'clock, already back towards around 70 by 10 o'clock, and going to be mostly clear start to your day. Thankfully, we'll start to see a little bit of that cloud clearing later on in the afternoon hours ahead. Now, for right now, taking a look at some current conditions all across North Mississippi. This is out there in Aberdeen. 57 degrees, feels like 57. You can see some of those stars in the background. Looks like a little bright one just under our wind measurement. And of course, not really measuring any wind out there. We are still staying very calm and still just pretty mild all across North Mississippi. Another look out here in Iuka, 57 degrees, feels like 57. Still seeing those stars out there in the background. No wind affecting you guys, so any last minute plans outside, they are going to be good to go before you get ready for the work week tomorrow. Of course, out here in Houston, a little bit warmer, 61 degrees, feels like 61, and it's always kind of funny seeing one of those cell towers just kind of glow in the distance and see that line go throughout the camera. So kind of fun to watch, but that's about all we can see on our camera, which is a good thing. We're not tracking out anything intense. We're talking about clear and calm night skies above. But take a look at our Mama Justice Doppler radar. We're still talking about dry skies as well. A lot of green, but again, that's just that ground clutter, that radar trying to find anything to give us some color to look at, but we're not tracking any rain chances. We're staying dry all across North Mississippi and pretty much still all across the southeast as well, because we don't really have any weather makers. What we've been talking about a lot this weekend is actually this high pressure system. It started off in Texas yesterday during our Saturday shows, and it continued to shift further east, now a little bit southward trend towards the Gulf, and it still kind of can't really make up its mind on where it wants to go. So kind of just chilling, sitting out there on the southern portions and pretty much just along the Gulf Coast, and that's what's allowed us to stay pretty much calm, dry, clear, and beautiful all throughout this weekend. So that big H, you have that to thank for what has been a spectacular weekend across North Mississippi, and thankfully will kind of keep us feeling pretty amazing as we get ready for our Monday ahead tomorrow. So let's take a look at Futurecast to kind of see what the rest of this overnight period looks like and what the start of your Monday does. This is around 9 o'clock for your Sunday, so kind of when you're tuning in. We're talking about this southerly motion blowing across North Mississippi. Again, not heavy right now. We're not tracking any of that wind across North Mississippi, but we're going to continue to see that kind of almost advect some warmer air into our area, which is allowing us to feel a lot warmer as we go about our day tomorrow, but it's also bringing back that moisture. That's why we can see kind of this blanket of cloud cover move across North Mississippi. I know you're watching this, you're like, Caleb, you said it's going to be mostly clear skies tomorrow. That looks like a blanket of cloud cover. Again, these models don't really project those thin, high, wispy clouds as good or as prominent as what they should be. But you can already see by 1 o'clock, we're seeing that cloud cover already start to dwindle and see those mostly clear skies return, kind of almost transition back to completely clear. So again, not going to be meaningful cloud cover, still going to be a sunny Monday tomorrow, just noticing a little bit more cloud cover tomorrow as compared to your Saturday and Sunday, because let's be honest, it was almost crystal clear the entire weekend. So just showcasing, we'll see some more of that cloud cover, but again, not going to be prominent or meaningful whatsoever as you go about your day tomorrow. Now the next 24 is going to show exactly that. Going to be a mostly clear start to the day, starting off in the low 50s by 6 o'clock, warming up towards the low 60s by 9, already in the upper 70s by 12. But once we reach those afternoon hours, we're warming back up into the low 80s yet again, but already seeing a clearing in that cloud cover. That clouds, again, not being that prominent, not making it very long here in North Mississippi, before trying to make another comeback tomorrow evening as we cool off towards the upper 60s by 9 o'clock tomorrow night, once we're hopefully done with another work day and getting ready for the next one. But don't go anywhere. I want to give you the latest look, kind of a more zoomed in approach on North Mississippi for your overnight period tonight, what your Monday and Tuesday looks like. And of course, we're talking about those rain chances for technically your Tuesday into your Wednesday, what it'll look like for your Thursday. All of that's coming up right after this break.
When C.K. Little opened his doors in downtown Corinth nearly 80 years ago, his plan was simple: deliver excellent service and exceed expectations. That's why we say a little gift goes a long way.
At First Choice Bank, we know you can't always make it before the bank closes. With our integrated teller, you can talk to a live person as late as 7 p.m. on weekdays and noon on Saturdays. It's not just an ATM, it's an ITM. First Choice Bank, your choice for banking.
It's Friday night y estamos activos. Head out early. Drinks flowing to 11.
No sé qué pasó. I didn't even drink that much.
For the first time anywhere, a digital-only weather source has been nominated for not one, but 2 Emmy Awards. This is the 25th nomination I've been humbled to receive over the years, and while accolades are great, we're just proud to deliver the weather coverage that you deserve. Thank you, North Mississippi, for supporting us here at Mississippi Live.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, thanks for sticking here with us for Mississippi Live Weather at 9. Real quick, take a look at your 7-day forecast. We're tracking a warm start to the work week with those highs reaching the low 80s. Rain chances start to make an appearance Tuesday, kind of throughout the afternoon hours into the evening overnight period. Then we'll talk about more prominent showers and storms for your Wednesday, crossing midnight into the early morning hours for your Thursday. Much more beautiful Friday coming up in the forecast. Just got to get through that stormy period first before we can enjoy them. Now, those current conditions right now out here in Tupelo, 60 degrees, feels like 60. That dew point a little bit more elevated as compared to last night, and we're noticing that just due to that southerly motion, bringing that moisture from the Gulf. We'll start to see some of that cloud cover later on tonight, but again, not meaningful, especially with it still only being in the upper 40s by the 9 o'clock hour tonight. Now, Futurecast still showing those clear skies across North Mississippi, that southerly wind I was just talking about, and with that, bringing those warmer temperatures and conditions for tomorrow, but also some of that moisture in the form of cloud cover. We can see that continue to move on through North Mississippi overnight tonight, providing just a thin blanket across us. Again, not meaningful cloud cover, just going to notice more clouds as we start off our Monday tomorrow, because really haven't seen any throughout the weekend so far here in North Mississippi. Now those lows only cooling off towards the low 40s across North Mississippi, so not going to be quite as chilly as the start to the morning we had earlier today. Going to be a little bit warmer tomorrow, especially for those out there in Clarksdale. 58 degrees, 56 in Cleveland and Greenville, but further east you go, we could talk about a few upper 40s, 47 in Hamilton, 49 in Vernon, and 48 out there in Columbus. So kind of two different stories depending on where you're at, but don't worry, all of us will definitely warm up into the afternoon hours. It's going to be a little bit warmer tomorrow as compared to what you have enjoyed this weekend. Now for the school day planner, we're dropping off the kids around low 50s tomorrow, already warming back up towards the mid 70s by lunch and reaching the last bell with those temperatures already in the low 80s. Good news, going to feel slightly better than what those temperatures are already outside. And I say better because we'll feel slightly cooler. So definitely a good part of the forecast. Now coming back to Futurecast, we can talk about those kind of mostly clear skies as that thin blanket continues to move across North Mississippi. This is around 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. It'll stick around throughout the morning hours as you go about your day. But by the time we reach lunchtime, notice how that southerly winds continue to pick on up and kind of just grab the clouds and move it on out of here. The further south you go, especially for those out there in the Delta, we're talking about clearer skies already by lunchtime, and that's going to continue to be the trend. So mostly clear skies to start off your Monday, but by the time you're getting out of school and pretty much out of class and work tomorrow, going to be enjoying much sunnier skies by the afternoon hours into your evening. But then we can see that cloud cover already starting to come back for the southern portions of the Delta around dinner time and kind of sweep across North Mississippi yet again into tomorrow evening. Now those high temperatures, like I mentioned, a little bit warmer tomorrow, reaching the low 80s all across our viewing area. But the good news, we'll feel slightly cooler than what those temperatures are reading, with most of us actually feeling like we're in the upper 70s. So definitely a positive note for this forecast if we have to warm on up. The good news is we're not going to be experiencing these temperatures too long as we go about the work week ahead, but technically this is where we should be. We're actually talking about average conditions for once. Now, coming back to Futurecast, we're still talking about those mostly clear skies across North Mississippi by 6 o'clock tomorrow. This model kind of depicting less cloud cover than what that previous one was showing as we transition Monday night into the overnight period, kind of just playing all through it. We're not really tracking out anything, but we are finally starting to see a little bit of color return to Futurecast, showcasing those rain chances, making their way back into the forecast for your Tuesday. Could be somewhat of a soggy start to your Tuesday morning, depending where you are here in North Mississippi. Further northwest you go, kind of closer towards the Memphis region, towards DeSoto County, and just the further northwest portions of North Mississippi. You'll see some of those rain showers as you get ready for your Tuesday morning, walking out of the door bright and early around 8 o'clock. Maybe a little shower out there in the southern portions of the Delta, but those rain chances continue to be most prominent the further northwest you go within our region. They kind of sweep across North Mississippi, and the latest look kind of shows a little heavier shower, maybe even a thunderstorm out there just north of Holly Springs around lunchtime. This is at 12:30 for your Tuesday. Again, not talking about anything widespread. These are very isolated, continue to stay primarily up north, kind of along the Mississippi-Tennessee state line, not affecting all of us, but that is where we could start to see some of those heavier showers move on through, especially if they can meet the right conditions. But that's about it. Once we go throughout the rest of our Tuesday, those rain chances not really going to be prominent until the late evening hours into the overnight period. We're going to start to see those rain showers make their way back into DeSoto County around 6 o'clock Tuesday. But you can definitely tell where that level 2 slight risk is, and that's out there in Arkansas, where they'll see heavier showers, kind of more intense, maybe even some severe showers and storms out there. Not quite the case for us here in North Mississippi. So definitely a positive with that severe weather risk. Not quite seeing it at this time, but of course we're going to make sure to keep you guys updated as we get closer and closer if those models start to shift. And speaking of, I mean, take a look at these showers. They get closer and closer towards North Mississippi. So if these start to trend just a little bit more southern, we're starting to talk about this reaching the northern portions of the Delta and cross the Mississippi River into North Mississippi. But as of right now, these continue to stay just across the state line into Tennessee and even into Arkansas, not really affecting us here in North Mississippi. We're still just talking about those rain showers the further north you go. But of course, further south, could pretty much go just rain-free all throughout your Tuesday. So that 20% you'll see on the 7-day forecast, not applying for all of you guys, just a few of us as you go about your Tuesday. That severe weather threat continues to be further northwest, not affecting us here in North Mississippi. And one of the things responsible for that is that cold front that we keep talking about. That's going to cool us off, but it's also going to bring those storm chances for your Wednesday as well. We're already at 1 o'clock for your Wednesday early morning hours. Starting to see those rain showers become a lot more widespread, kind of on the doorsteps of North Mississippi, and eventually make their way into our viewing area. And with that, bringing some heavy rainfall, some rumbles of thunder, and maybe even a few storms on the stronger side. So we still got a ways to go until we get to Wednesday. We're going to continue fine-tuning that forecast and give you the very latest and kind of figure out what those threats are. As of right now, potential for some flash flooding, wind and hail continue to be the biggest threats, if any, at this moment. But we'll continue to kind of keep narrowing that down for you guys and give you the very latest timing as we get closer and closer towards it. But for your highs for your Tuesday, we're still pretty much in the low 80s across North Mississippi, a little bit warmer, kind of sticking around the low 80s for your Monday and into your Tuesday. Good news is those feels like values kind of cooling us off back into the upper 70s. And again, this is going to be the warmest we're going to be all week long. We're going to start talking about cooler temperatures, and that's due to that cold front moving on through, also bringing those storm chances for your Wednesday as well. So kind of a win-lose situation just because we got to get through those stormy conditions, but we'll definitely reap the benefits by the time Thursday rolls around. We can see that here on the 7-day forecast. The low 80s for your Monday, Tuesday, warmest part of the work week. We start talking about those rain showers for a few of us Tuesday, kind of afternoon into the evening hours, crossing midnight into the AM hours. We're going to start talking about those rain showers becoming a lot more prominent almost all day throughout your Wednesday. 60% coverage, good chance to see some of those thunderstorms, a few of those being on the stronger side. Those will continue all night into the early morning hours for your Thursday, but hopefully, thankfully, by the time we wake up Thursday to start off our morning kind of just work commute, we should start talking about drier conditions, could go through most of the day, pretty much rain-free with partly cloudy skies and temperatures in the low 70s. So definitely a cool down kind of coming up later on at the back half of the work week. A beautiful Friday in the forecast, highs around 73 degrees, mostly clear skies above. Only downside with this forecast as well, could start talking about a soggier weekend in the forecast for your Saturday and Sunday. So it's been a picture perfect weekend so far. I hope you guys were able to get outside and enjoy them. Might not be the case next weekend, but of course we still got a whole work week to go through, kind of see how those models verify for this upcoming Wednesday. We'll make sure to keep you updated on all things happening in North Mississippi next weekend as well, so you guys can start making your plans accordingly. No better way to stay updated with us than with the Mississippi Live Weather app. We appreciate all the support and feedback you have given us, all the downloads, and just everything that you have given to us, because we want to make sure to give you our absolute best to all of you guys out there. And we'll make sure to keep you updated as we get closer towards those storms for your Wednesday and even some of those heavier showers at the end of your Tuesday, to make sure you guys are always in the know. With that, we'll be live later on tonight at 10 to give you the very latest as you get ready for your Monday morning tomorrow. But speaking of, we'll be back towards our weekday schedule at 6:30, 7, and 7:30 with our morning meteorologist, Maggie McCauley. She'll see bright or new models bright and early tomorrow morning and give you guys the very latest as you get ready to walk out of the door and take on your Monday. And of course, we'll be back in the evenings at 5, 6, 9, and 10 to help celebrate another work day done and to get you ready for the next one as we continue pushing through another work week. But like I mentioned, I have enjoyed this beautiful weekend with you guys. I hope all of y'all enjoyed it, and we'll see y'all back here live in the Room to Room Weather Center.
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious. When he began to discover weather, Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes, and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.